couple that I want to throw on your board and get a reaction to. So over the past weekend, 42 years old, making healthy six-figure family of 4, 2 kids, literal quote, "We're living our best life, not ready to turn that off just yet. We know we need to get our ducks in a row, but that's just not a priority right now. We're trying to create some memories."
I think that's great, right? You can't make people want to plan. When the pain is great enough, they'll reach out, right? You can't force it on someone. Now, just from a pure mathematical standpoint, from the reality of it and have a conversation, maybe they can have it both right now. I mean, we find that all the time is that when you have a conversation, you can have kind of that independent third party there and just ask questions about, well, what are the most important things to you and your family right now? Well, we want to take, 3 vacations a year. We want to go to small Phillies packet. We want to get the 10 games a year, whatever, the Sunday packet or whatever the case might be. You start laying out what's really important. But, hey, we also want to be in a situation where we can retire at 60 or 55. Okay. What I think that does is it allows you to get super intentional about where your dollars are. And I think that it's easy that there's dollars that slip between our fingertips on stuff that's really not that meaningful to us. And so sometimes it's just redirecting some of that fluff that slips through the cracks, saving and investing first, setting money aside for all the fun stuff that we want to do. And then if there's money left over, you give yourself permission to spend that on anything that you like. So number one, I'm glad that they're having a great time. I'm glad that they're living their best life. But I would say there's a chance that maybe they don't have to sacrifice that best life and also plan for their future as well. So it doesn't have to be as draconian when they're 50. Like, as I mentioned, the conversations that we're having, right? For so many people, they don't really get serious until they're 50. If they could start when they're 42, it's a lot easier at 42 than it is 50.
What about final note on the folks, because this was another one that came up, is that feel like they need to have their quote unquote, I need to have my shit together before we call?
Well, I mean, you might never call. Most people never get their stuff together. It's just the way it is, right? That's kind of the job of the financial planner. The financial planner is the one that really is there to coordinate everything to help give you that plan. Like you're just wasting time, and time is money. We talked earlier. There's not a lot of levers you can pull, and time and money, and in the investment world, it's rate of return. If we're putting off the time lever, it's going to cost you more money to get to the same place. I think people still get confused that financial planner equals investment management. Financial planning includes or can include investment management. It is not the same thing. The financial planner is largely trying to square away and make sure that everything in your financial picture is coordinated and set up correctly to make sure that your plan is fulfilled, to the highest likelihood of it happening, highest probability of it happening. So yeah, if you wait until you got everything figured out, you might be waiting a long time, and you're only going to hurt yourself in the long term. And we don't judge, right? I mean, there's sometimes that people have incredibly elaborate spreadsheets and everything like appears like in super good order, and it still might be a complete mess, but they feel organized. There's other times that people feel completely disheveled and like, I don't know where anything is. And you kind of go through it and you're like, it's actually really good. I mean, I think the best thing for anybody to do is just start. It's like, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time's today.
I feel like people are tired of hearing that, but it's the truth. There's the tree analogy anyways. I mean, obviously, like, of course, I wished I was more serious about working out 15 years ago.
Yeah. Or never stopped, right? For so many of us, right? We lifted and worked out, playing sports and in college. It was the stop that killed us.
Correct.
It's the stop that literally took years off our life. It was was I disciplined enough to continue to do it when life got hard or other priorities came in? So there's a lot of different analogies there, but anything meaningful in life is going to take some work. There's going to be painful times. There's going to be plateaus, and you have to keep showing up during the plateaus and give yourself a little bit of grace during certain times, because it's not linear. It's fun to look at these calculators, say, oh, well, what if I saved 10% and got a 10% return over the next 30 years? I mean, I can't tell you too many people that I've seen invest exactly 10% a year every year of their working life, right? There's going to be definitely ebbs and flows, and life happens, and you give yourself some grace, and you just get back on and do the best you can for as long as you can.
Nick, what's coming up? What's going on in KMP world? What are you hearing from clients? What are clients facing? What are they anxious about? What are the pain points? What are the anxieties that you're relieving at the moment? What comes to mind?
Man, that's a great question, Corey. A lot of a lot of housing related quandaries. A lot of people that have growing families, and they've honestly just outgrown the house that they have a 2.5 or 3% interest rate on, and they're anchored to the 3, but they really need to move, and that means a 6 or a 7. And it's just walking through the process to give them permission to do that and to carve a path forward, and just letting them know, because of the things that they've done and the things they have in place, that they are going to be better off. Their family's going to be better off with a 6 than a 3. So that's one of the popular conversations we've had. We've dealt with a number of inheritance issues recently, which brings a lot of emotional conversations to the table. And what does money mean to you? What does legacy really look like? What are the ways that you can honor the people who left you with this money? So those are really fun, heartfelt conversations, which are always good. And then it's just kind of the continual conversation of, am I on track? If not, what do I need to do differently? It's the 50-year-old who's reached out to us, who, turned 50 recently, and is like, oh my goodness, I'm 50 years old, 10 years, because nobody wants to work past 60. I have 10 years. What do I need to do? Is it possible? Can I do it? And then I would say the fourth and final conversation is the younger person, the 30-something, late 30-something, and all of the late 30-somethings who are in the rat race, making $400,000 a year plus. I promise you, not one of them wants to work past 55. What do I need to do to be able to make sure that I'm in a place where I can walk away at 55? Maybe I just want to be a camp counselor. Maybe I just want to volunteer. Maybe I just want to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and hang out. But those are the conversations that we're having. They're a lot of fun. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of what I enjoy most is just sharing the whiteboard and collaborating, which is fun because I don't really leave the house without my old handy HP 12C. So I love fun with math with friends.
Where do you see and what do you hope for your business in 3 years, which is not that far away, right? That'll happen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more services that we offer. I don't know the how we're going to do it or the timeline necessarily that how it's going to happen, but I think being able to offer more to the amazing people that we serve is what's needed. So I think things like property and casualty insurance, I think, will be a part of Know My Plan. I think tax planning, or not only tax planning, tax filing will be a part of the future of Know My Plan. And the way that I kind of envision it is to create a family office for people that would never otherwise have access to a family office, predominantly for people who have, $500,000 to $5 million, as opposed to the people, just 25 million and above. So I think it's going deeper with who we serve and just continuing to add more people to it. Eventually that'll mean more employees, and super excited about that as well, to be able to hire great people to be part of our team. But I think it's just it's deeper. It's more wallet share to make sure that we have kind of wrapped our loving and protecting arms around more parts of the entire financial plan.